Let me first provide the passage from John 12 verses 17 to 26, from the New International Version, and then I'll expound on it. 17 Now the crowd that was with him when he called Lazarus from the tomb and raised him from the dead continued to spread the word. 18 Many people, because they had heard that he had performed this sign, went out to meet him. 19 So the Pharisees said to one another, See, this is getting us nowhere. Look how the whole world has gone after him. 20 Now there were some Greeks among those who went up to worship at the festival. 21 They came to Philip, who was from Bethsaida in Galilee, with a request. Sir, they said, we would like to see Jesus. 22 Philip went to tell Andrew, Andrew and Philip in turn told Jesus. 23 Jesus replied, The hour has come for the Son of Man to be glorified. 24 Very truly I tell you, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. 25 Anyone who loves their life will lose it, while anyone who hates their life in this world will keep it for eternal life. 26 Whoever serves me must follow me, and where I am, my servant also will be. My Father will honor the one who serves me. Expounding on John 12 verses 17 to 26. This passage is rich in meaning and offers various layers of understanding. Jesus' fame, verses 17 to 19 After the miracle of raising Lazarus from the dead, news of Jesus spread rapidly. This event was a significant testament to Jesus' divine power. The Pharisees, feeling threatened by Jesus' growing influence, noticed that their attempts to suppress him were futile. Their frustration is evident in their statement, Look how the whole world has gone after him. The Greeks, verses 20 to 22 The arrival of the Greeks, who were likely Gentile proselytes to Judaism, symbolizes the universal appeal and impact of Jesus' message. Their desire to see Jesus indicates that his fame and message had reached beyond the Jewish community. The hour of glorification, verse 23 Jesus begins to speak of his impending death and resurrection here. The hour refers to a divinely appointed time, in this context, the time of Jesus' crucifixion and resurrection. The term glorified is paradoxical, it refers to the honor and exaltation Jesus would receive but comes through the suffering and shame of the cross. The kernel of wheat, verse 24 Jesus uses the metaphor of a seed dying to produce many seeds to illustrate the necessity of his death for the salvation of many. Just as a seed must die, be buried in the ground, to bring forth life, Jesus would die and rise again, bringing spiritual life to countless believers. Loving versus hating life, verse 25 Jesus is not promoting a literal hatred of life. Instead, he contrasts a life focused solely on worldly pleasures and gains, loving life, with a life willing to sacrifice for eternal values and purposes, hating life in this world. Those who prioritize their spiritual journey and relationship with God will inherit eternal life. Serving and following Jesus, verse 26 Commitment to Christ is not just about belief but also about action. Serving and following Jesus means living a life in line with his teachings and example. Those who genuinely serve him will be honored by God. In summary, this passage showcases the increasing recognition of Jesus' authority in divine nature, underscores the necessity of his sacrificial death, and lays out the principles of discipleship. It calls believers to a deeper commitment and a perspective focused on eternal, not just temporal, realities.